Hey guys, what's up? It's TotalXclipse here, and it's that time of year again when all of us British gamers stay up till the early hours of the morning watching E3 being streamed to our very PCs. It's no different to normal, obviously. Instead of watching E3, we're normally playing games until 2 o'clock in the morning, or at least that's me. So this year we have had a huge amount of information. I'm going to cover it all. I should probably mention I have a giveaway going on at the moment for those of you who are new to my channel and have just cropped up on this video. If you want to check it out here somewhere. I will probably leave the link in the description if I forget otherwise. Back to the good stuff. EA have kicked off E3 with EA's Play, and it has been an awesome conference so far. They really have kicked it off with a bang. In fact, a bang does not do it justice. It's more of an artillery barrage, and it was fantastic. Some really good information. First off, we had Titanfall 2. Now, I didn't play the first game, but I knew it looked awesome and I was desperate to play it. But at that point, I was progressing into PC gaming and not really having enough money to invest in games because I've just bought my old gaming computer, which now my brother has. But what they've confirmed is there are 6 new Titans to be played, each very unique, a bit like specialists, I guess you could say, in COD. And you also have a full story campaign, which is going to be really in-depth, really interesting, looking at the relationship between a pilot and their Titan. Watching the actual trailer got me really interested into it, and I think I'm going to be getting this game. Also, the gameplay looks super slick, the movement is just beautiful, some really good kills that we see in the game, and just all round looks great. Now, the next thing we saw at EA's Play conference was Mass Effect Andromeda, and oh my god, it just looks beautiful. Now, it's not the first time us gamers have ventured forth to the final frontier, but this time we are leaving our home system, the Milky Way, and home galaxy of the Milky Way, and travelling to the Andromeda galaxy where we are the aliens, which is going to add some interesting first meetings, I think. Now, why we're leaving the Milky Way, I don't know. I don't know what it is that we're running from, but I can guarantee it's going to be an awesome game. Now, we will be getting more information about Mass Effect Andromeda this fall, and expect hopefully a early 2017 release. Now, obviously, I will keep you guys up to date with it. I think it looks beautiful and I can't wait to get my hands on this game. Now, how can we outdo Mass Effect? Quite simply, EA showed us some more behind the scenes action for the new Star Wars games. Now, they've got a few coming up. They have a new Star Wars adventure game that's in third person, which I do believe is being made by Visceral Games. Now, I've seen the first clip. It's very short, but it's very beautiful. It looks like Mos Eisley or somewhere on Tatooine, and it looks drop dead gorgeous. The fidelity is like nothing I've seen before, and the lighting, it's going to be immense, absolutely immense. They also showed us the new Battlefront DLC, so we've got Bespin Cloud City with, I want to say Orlando Calrissian, Orlando Bloom. And we've also got a look at Star Wars VR. Now, we're just going to hold this clip here for a second. So first off, we see a man looking around with Samsung VR headset. Should be using a Vive, like HTC Vive's awesome. But then it cuts to a clip in an X-Wing. Now, I've compared the footage of the X-Wing to the Battlefront X-Wing. Looks exactly the same. So could this be part of Battlefront 1? Are we going to be seeing some VR support, which they have confirmed for Star Wars Battlefront? If they do, this will be beautiful. But before we go on to the next screen, please note, we're in space, which is a massive thing because EA DICE confirmed that they won't be doing space battles, which is something which really upset me when I first found out about the game. Could they be coming back on their word? They said they were listening to the players, the gamers, and going to add new things to it. It could be the case. If not, it could be a shot from Battlefront 2, which they have confirmed will be coming out next year. And the other thing that it could possibly be is possibly maybe a new Rogue One style game. Rogue One? Rogue Squadron game. Oh, and I should mention Battlefront 2. I get such a deja vu saying that. Battlefront 2 will have a fully fledged storyline campaign, which is going to be beautiful, which I'm so glad they've done. Obviously they cut it out of the first game because they wanted to have the same release date as the film, which is unfortunate because they did miss a trick there, but it's going to be so great in the new game. Oh, and check this screenshot out as well. It's not a screenshot, sorry. It's I'm not sure if it's a concept art. I think it must be. But it looks stunning. And I mean, a picture can say 1,000 words. We've got what I think is a rebel soldier. I might be mistaken. Can't quite make him out. It looks like he's abseiling down from a ship. And then we also have TIE fighters in the background, as well as lots of Star Destroyers. Now, could it be that they are actually listening to us and putting in the big ship battles back into the game? If so, I'll cry. That's the biggest thing that I was looking forward to for Star Wars Battlefront. And if they do that, I'm not going to be able to stop playing the game, in all honesty. It's one of those things that captivates me and I just love. But because there's so many things that I can talk about in that clip, I'm actually going to do, I should imagine, a breakdown of the Star Wars part on its own. And I'll probably do, well, I will be doing the same with DICE's new Battlefield as well. Which, speaking of, Battlefield 1, like, oh my god, we got the new trailer, which looks fantastic. I mean, really fantastic. You have the tank being disabled, and the men releasing homing pigeons to call for help, and then, just looked fantastic. I will be covering that. And then we also got, as well as loads of tasty information, Battlefield 1 gameplay. And not just one game, not just a clip of the game, but an hour's worth, 3 whole games. Now, it was set on one village on the outskirts of the front line of No Man's Land. And it just looks so beautiful. The fidelity, the lighting, the particle effects, everything just looks spot on. It's the best Battlefield game I have ever seen, and maybe it's something to do with the grimy setting, but the mud that just looks so rich, the countryside so beautiful, and they're adding in dynamic weather. Now, I know that's been talked about in various games a lot before, but dynamic weather, which we saw in the second game on the playthrough, they have stormy weather, they have mist, they have sunny days, and each of them will affect your gameplay style. For example, on a sunny day, you're definitely going to want to go out with your Lee Enfield sniper rifle and pop someone off from the windmills. If it's a rainy day, I'm going to stay indoors. I don't want to get my gun soaked, but it does look beautiful when you do. You've got the droplets forming on top of the gun. Bayonet kills! We saw our first bayonet kill. I did a video on the live coverage, and it was just me watching it, but in the second half we see the first bayonet kill, and the way he just shoves it in and he screams as he's doing it. Fantastic. The same guy dies a few minutes later and trying to do the same trick again, but oh my god, it's just beautiful. Now, they did state that in Battlefield 1's gameplay we're going to see a lot of Behemoth vehicles, and they're going to be playing a key part in maps. So the 3 Behemoths that they were talking about was the armoured train, obviously the airship, And they also mentioned the battleship, which brings up a whole lot of questions which I don't have time for in this video, but I can't wait to find out more information. Now these vehicles, I guess you could say, spawn in or come in for the losing side during the game. Certain game modes. We saw, I think it was like Conquest or a variation of Conquest, which is obviously Battlefield's biggest game mode that they've ever created, and it's absolutely fantastic. Another thing to point out is vehicle, while we're on the subject of vehicle combat, the tanks. Now they had three types of tanks. They had the light tank, which is for one person, tends to be quicker, lighter, do less damage than the bigger tanks. Then you have the medium tank, which can hold up to 3 people. So that's more like the tanks that we've seen in, I guess, Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, where you have a gunner and then you have someone driving the tank. I don't know what the third person will do, because it's not like they can do electronic warfare, but that's pretty cool. And probably a second gunner, actually, maybe a gunner on top, pintle mounted, have the side box, and then I'm getting ahead of myself. And then we also had the heavy tanks, so that's the big willy that we see in the game, which is built in my hometown. I'm doing a show actually about it, but it's just beautiful. That can hold up to 5 people. Now in the squads it only showed 4 people in the gameplay, so that means you can fit a whole squad of people in there plus someone else as well. So it might be good to have 2 from 2 separate squads working together, and then they can spawn 1 person in at a time to leave the tank, and then you've got like a moving spawn point. But I can't wait to get my hands on that game. It's going to be so incredible. And now other things to point out about EA's play. They had a rather interesting game called Faye that they were showing, talking about how they want to help fund other projects from, I think it was called Origins, I think that's what they were calling it, EA Origins, and so they're supporting smaller time developers. They are also doing a charity event where there are in-game community challenges. If we accomplish the community challenges, they'll give $1 million, I think it was, to a given charity. Which is awesome of them. EA, you're doing a good job, thank you so much for that. There are lots of worthy causes, so thank you. And they also had the 2 sports games. I'm not a big sports gamer, that's not my cup of tea as a Britishman. As a Brit, as a Englishman, not a Britishman. So that was FIFA 17, which does look good even though I'm not into it, and also Madden, which is obviously American football. Other than that, we got a lovely look at Faye, which is an adventure game kind of set in a forest glade where you take on the role of a little tiny beast and you connect to nature by singing or creating melodies with it. A bit like Ocarina of Time, where you use the music to unlock new areas. But it's very similar to Ori as well, if you've ever played that game. But it does look very beautiful, really interesting artistic style. Now, unfortunately, that's all we really have time for at this quick look at EA's Play Conference and the start of E3. Now, I will be covering Bethesda's conference next, which just looked mind-blowing as well. Like, I don't think my mind can hold all this information. I need to download it all onto the computer and get my thoughts out there. So that's going to be fantastic. Obviously, if you want to see that, want to see my interpretation of it, please subscribe. It is so fantastic that I think over 560 of you have now subscribed to my channel. I'm so grateful. We are doing a current prize giveaway, as I mentioned at the start, and we will be doing that in the future as well. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please like it, it's always appreciated. And thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.